Okay, so I say to you, I want a DJ. What are the things that I have to look for?
Well, you should see them in action as well. And chances are, like a lot of people with DJs they've been to many weddings. They've seen them. It's a lot of referrals, word of mouth. Some DJs have their own CDs as well out there. They have their own creative style of DJing. Their lighting, their equipment, you have to take all that into consideration.
Yeah.
How long they've been in the business. Some say that they think you just, throw on some tunes and they're good to go. And they don't have the proper equipment, they don't have the proper personality, and they can actually ruin your night.
Well, and you should definitely make sure that they are a wedding DJ, so someone that knows how to do weddings, because a lot of the time people will, want somebody that plays at a club, a friend of a friend, and it's definitely not the same
Not
thing.
the same vibe at all. You don't want a nightclub feel at a wedding. There's many other factors involved, as well as most professional DJs will give you a full information. Like I think it's like a little booklet. It's a few sheets, and you give them all the details, no playlists, names of wedding party, et cetera, everything. So they have it right down to every minute of the wedding as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And that they can be flexible if you want to change something up, because it doesn't always go as planned.
And I guess being a DJ, you're going to have the option to click on your laptop and have 10,000 songs available. And
Sure.
I think that's, but then again, you don't want to, I guess when I sat down with my DJ, we went over some ideas, and he asked me, okay, what's the type of age range? What bands do you not like? What bands do you like? And then he went into it saying, okay, people love U2, but U2 you can't dance to a U2 song, so we need to be very whatever. So you're laughing. Has there been an incident?
I'm
with
laughing
somebody?
because my sister just hired a U2 cover band for her wedding.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got some trouble here. No nice. Okay, so and you know what? I got to say this. Wedding planner to the brand new host of the show, Mal.
So the first thing you want to consider is your budget. A wedding band will definitely be more expensive than a DJ. So, that's a huge part of that should go into your consideration is the budget.
Okay, the budget. So
DJs can cost anywhere from like $100 to $300 an hour, whereas a wedding band starts usually at $2,000 and can go way above $20,000 for the night.
okay, so let's talk about wedding bands here, just for from your experience dealing with wedding bands. We're going to cross in. I don't want to say this a couple of times, but we're going to talk to Jeff after about the process. But if I say to you, say Mal, because you're officially
Yes,
Mal. If
that's
I say
right.
Mal, what's the deal? What we want to get a wedding band for our big day.
Mm-hmm.
So once I say that to you and you say, okay, everything's cool with the budget, walk me through the steps of how we would kind of decide or pick, or what's the case?
Well, I think the most important thing to consider is what kind of crowd you're going to have at the wedding, whether it's going to be, mostly young people, what your personal music preference is. And then you want to do definitely a lot of research and check into different bands. I always recommend that you go and see a band in action. It's very, very important.
See, that freaks me out. And Nick, maybe this is the same for you, but if you're having a wedding and you spend all this money for a wedding band, wouldn't you get mad if other brides and grooms came down to see this band at your wedding?
Well, you try to make it as unintrusive as possible. When I've had, recommended bands.
She sounds pretty good, eh?
When I've recommended bands to couples and asked them to go see it, the couple would sneak in, let's say around 11 o'clock when everyone's out on the dance floor and having a good time, and
But
just
they're going to
take
steal
a
some
peek.
desserts. Nick,
They
what are your
will
thoughts?
not.
Nick's the outsider.
You would.
Nick's
you
the
would steal.
What,
the
are you trying to say I'm
dessert.
fat? Nick is the voice of reason here.
Hold on, it is kind of, I don't know how I feel about about going to another wedding to check out the band, but hopefully the band should be playing at a bar or at other venues where it's okay if you go there.
Yes,
Like a
there's-
pub.
Or they have
Yeah.
videos. They've got promotional kits that you can watch how they do
for
things.
sure.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
we hired a band for our wedding, and we went to they have a resident night on Thursdays at the Orbit Room in Toronto.
There
So
you
we
go.
went to go see them there before we hired them.
That's a great
Well,
place.
and just to be clear, if I do recommend for somebody to go see the band at someone else's wedding, you have to clear it with the couple having the wedding that
There-
it's okay
no wedding
for them-
crashers.
right? That it's for them to stop by. That it's okay for them to stop by.
That's a wedding crasher. I want to do a show about wedding crashers, and I
We-
want to see
okay.
your experience with wedding crashers. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you basically you speak to the band, you talk to the groom, you talk to the bride, and what if it's a big event? What if the parents are paying? So now it's no longer a one or two person going down. Maybe you have 4 or 5 people going to a wedding. This is what could be. Now it's kind of intrusive. No.
Well,
If
sure,
my parents
yeah.
are paying, you're going to have my mom, my dad with his little wheelchair coming down, and that's going to make a scene right away.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
trust me, he always makes a scene.
Well, I mean, there's like we said, there should be other ways that you can view the band. But if you would keep the personal visit probably to just the bride and groom.
Okay.